Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 3 Wide Indycar Edition. This week, the Verizon IndyCar Series was at Phoenix for the Desert Diamond West Valley Casino Phoenix Grand Prix at ISM Raceway. Overall, a race that started out a little interesting and then turned into normal Phoenix, where we sat through a lot of single file and non-passing. There was some passing going out through the field, but it didn't really feel like anyone could catch the leader until lap traffic got in the way. The ending of this race was a little strategic, where some guys came in to get tires and others stayed out. Tires were the way to go as Joseph Newgarden went flying through the field and passed Robert Wickens to win. He was first, Robert Wickens was second, and Alexander Rossi was third. Overall, kind of a standard Phoenix IndyCar race with a really good ending. Now on to the 3 bad things that came out of the ISM race this week. Number 1, Will Power's problems continue. After spinning out and backing into the wall in St. Petersburg, Will Power led 80 laps and ended up finishing in the 22nd position after he got passed by Alexander Rossi and got stuck in the second line in turn 1 and 2 and ended up putting it into the wall and breaking the right front wheel. As a person who picked Will Power to win the championship this year, this concerns me going on, and hopefully next week at Long Beach, Power can figure it out and put his charge to the championship back and put the field on notice. Number 2, Ed Jones. Going into the season, I had very high hopes for Ed Jones. In Phoenix this week, it didn't really go to plan on lap 228 when he got out of the groove in turn 3, put it into the wall, ending his day, and he finished 20th. After an 8th place finish in St. Petersburg, a 20th at Phoenix really hurts Ed Jones' chances of getting a decent finish in the points. As he sits 13th now, this might be Jones' only blip on the radar, and hopefully he'll turn it around this year. And number 3, pit stop problems for Bourdais and Rossi. After Pietro Fittipaldi put the car on the wall and then the car subsequently died, there were yellow flag pit stops, where Sebastian Bourdais, who was leading at the time, came into pit and Alexander Rossi was following behind pit. Bourdais ended up hitting a pit crew member and so did Rossi, which assessed them pit road penalties, and Bourdais really never recovered from his pit penalty, but Rossi ended up recovering for third. Who knows, if these pit penalties didn't happen, maybe we'd be talking about a back-to-back winner in Sebastian Bourdais or Alexander Rossi getting his 3rd career win in IndyCar. Now on to the 3 good things that came out of Phoenix. Number 1, Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports looks good again. After Robert Wickens came corner away from winning at St. Petersburg and James Hinchcliffe had a decent finish, the Schmidt-Peterson cars were up in the front pretty much all night. Wickens, who led 44 laps, was a couple laps away from winning the race. If the caution doesn't come out, maybe we're talking about Robert Wickens getting his first win. He finished 2nd. James Hinchcliffe, who stayed out, finished 6th. He led 20 laps. Overall, Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports looks like to me to be the most consistent team in IndyCar so far this season. Now going back to St. Long Beach from last year where James Hinchcliffe won, who knows, maybe both cars will end up on the top 2 steps of the podium at Long Beach. Number 2, the strategy at the end. After Ed Jones crashed, this brought out a caution, leaving the teams to have 2 options, pit or stay out. Some teams like Alexander Rossi thought the car was better on old tires, and the 2 Schmidt-Peterson cars thought the track position was just too good to give up. Joseph Newgarden was the first car out of the pits on the new tires, and he ended up showing that that was the right call as he went flying around the outside of Robert Wickens to win the race. And number 3, Joseph Newgarden's pass at the end. After pitting from the lead to put 4 new Firestones on his car, Joseph Newgarden restarted in 4th, and by the end of turn 2, he was already in 2nd after he passed Alexander Rossi and James Hinchcliffe on the outside. This led to a 3-lap battle with Robert Wickens, where Wickens was defending until Newgarden just said to hell with it and went around the outside of Wickens and took the lead and never looked back. After his move at Gateway last year and this move here at Phoenix, Joseph Newgarden has shown that he is really, really good on these short ovals, and looks like he will defend his championship, and you'll have to go through him to get the championship this year. Now what to look forward to at Long Beach. Number 1, no wait, the race is next week. After the IndyCar Series lay dormant with no races for what was like a month, the Verizon IndyCar Series is back at it April 15th at Long Beach. This starts a little bit of a run of 3 consecutive races where we just left Phoenix, then we go to Long Beach, and then we go to Alabama. This will get a little run, and we'll see what teams will be able to perform in these quick turnarounds. Number 2, will Schmidt-Peterson keep it up? After St. Petersburg and Phoenix, where both Schmidt-Peterson cars should have probably walked away with top 5 finishes, the IndyCar Series goes back to a road course. Schmidt-Peterson looks to keep it up this week and show that they are the team to beat, considering they've probably had the 2 best cars in both races. And number 3, will James Hinchcliffe repeat at Long Beach? Last year, James Hinchcliffe won the Long Beach Grand Prix. Now going back a year later, Hinchcliffe looks to defend his title and win this race again. Some cars I can see challenging Hinchcliffe to repeat are his own teammate Robert Wickens, Sebastian Bourdais, Joseph Newgarden, and Will Power, who's usually just a beast on the road courses. And that'll do it for this week's edition of 3 Wide IndyCar Edition. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and thanks for watching.